My friends, we finally made it. We've reached the point of interest in the Preston Mess Kit that I'm comfortable with moving on to the next step, which is to see how many of you are actually truly willing to put the money in to the project moving forward. Because minimally, I have to have 500 people respond. And you know, with as many people that have responded to the interest, you know, if you've been watching my video for the past several months, I'd be like, hey, if you're interested in the Preston Mess Kit, then follow the link. There's a video at the end of the video, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so there's all that. And again, at the end of this video, you will see my original video to the Preston Mess Kit. But I'm pretty much going to repeat that video here because I know a lot of you who may see this may have never seen or heard of the Preston Mess Kit. And I've had this kit for a number of years. This is probably easily one of the rarest items in my entire camping collection. It was a premium item. Even in the late 1800s and early 1900s, Horace Kephart, he had his own set and he was talking about the merits. Preston or Abercrombie, I don't know who, but somebody sent Horace Kephart one of these kits for him to review, and he wrote favorably upon it. This type of kit followed different officers in World War I, and then they served, of course, in the outdoor community for a number of years after World War I. But it being sold by Abercrombie and Fitch, it was pretty upscale. And your average soldier wouldn't buy this. This would have been something for an officer or maybe a gift because this is, like I said, a very premium item and officers had to buy their own stuff. But nonetheless, we are now at that juncture in this whole process to see if you would be willing to actually put your money into the project. And once the money is into the project, then we can move on to the next stage. So right now, I am asking you, after you watch all of this, or maybe you've watched several of my videos, or you've seen my previous video before, and you've been holding off, well, now we're at that point. Now we're truly at that point where I'm asking you if you're really willing to put your money into the kit. Now the kit's gonna cost $175, and you know, that is a lot of money, but that being said, it also includes, you know, $25 to ship anywhere into the continental US. So, you know, it's going to safely arrive to you. And I promise you that, you know, it'll come undamaged. If it does come damaged, I'll replace it, et cetera, et cetera. So I will make sure that you get taken care of. But I do know that is a lot of money because you're not just buying a kit from Walmart. This is something that is brand new. It's not on the market. You're not going to find this anywhere else unless you get an original. Now the originals were made out of aluminum. Now today's time, there's a lot of concern about aluminum. Even modern aluminums, people tend to be a little bit hesitant about it. So we're making this out of 316L stainless steel. Now I had to look up and figure out, like, because there's a lot of different stainless steels out there, and I wanted to make sure whatever stainless steel is used is going to be good for camp use, especially cooking over a campfire when necessary. Not just a camp stove, but actually a campfire. So 316L stainless steel is appropriate for cooking safely, and it's also appropriate for high temperature. So we're looking at a more premium stainless steel, not just one of your lowest grades possible. Now your kit is going to come with the skillet. Now the cool thing about the skillet is it folds up nice and neat, and it has a little pin here that locks it into place so you can use it as is. In my description box below, I will have a series of different videos that I've shown cooking on this skillet. I love this thing. It also has a dual purpose though, because your kit comes also with a plate. Now the plate can combine with the skillet. How does it do that? See this little ring down here? You take that and you take this little hook that's on your skillet handle and you're going to just snap that in, and this thing all comes together to form a nice tight baker like this. And you can even pin this into it. I'm not going to do it here because I'm just going to undo it. But you can pin this all together to make it nice and tight so it's not going to just accidentally pop open. So now you have a container to put your food items or something else in. But I like using it, like I said, as a baker. You can use this as a little miniature Dutch oven. So you can cook a little cake, you can cook cornbread or cookies or biscuits or things like that, just like this as a baker. And that's pretty sweet. It's pretty cool. It also comes with a cup. Now the cup is very similar I guess, kind of in a style to a military cup. It's not exactly like a military cup. That's not what I'm saying. But it's kind of similar in style with how the handle and you hold it, right? So it can be used as a pot. So you stick that on your fire like so, and you got yourself a pot, a cooking vessel, right? Now to drink, whether you're cooking coffee or you're cooking a hot cocoa or something like that, if it's really hot, you can hold it like so. I tend to hold it like this, you know, just like I would like a ladle. Or when it's cooler, you can just hold it like so, like this, okay? So this little pot or cup or whatever is really nice for single service. You know, mix in eggs, like I said, drinking your different beverages. You can put a single serving of stew in here, and you're good to go. Like it's pretty nice. But the best part, like I said, is it all combines. Like all of this combines. So now you have a large canteen. Now this is the one thing that I've been getting a lot of questions about with the canteen. Am I going to go with the original, just straight spout canteen? Or am I going to have a screw lid? So to solve both problems, for authenticity looks, so it's not going to be authentic 100%, at least this first round. Maybe if this gets so successful, maybe we'll have another round and it'll be truly authentic. But I want to make sure to take care of our modern needs and our modern people, because in truth, most of you out there are not going to go to a World War I reenactment and try to be an officer or something like that. But you want a serviceable cooking kit that is going to serve your needs in today's time. All right, so what we're going to do, instead of an external thread where you have like a cap that goes over top and screws down, instead we're going to do it just like the old canteens from like Boy Scouts that was made by wherever and other companies in the early 20th century, and they had internal threads. Those of you who were scouts maybe in the 60s and 70s that even had this type of spout and lid in those early canteens. So that's what I'm going to go for. So it's going to have a very shallow, it's not even going to go all the way down, it's going to be fairly shallow, so you can screw this in, but it's going to be disguised. So if you do go to a living history event or something, if you really want to make this a truly authentic experience with a cork, you can. You can take the screw out and you can just use a cork and you'll be safe. You know, your water or drinking beverage. So all this is going to be made out of stainless steel. It's not going to be made out of tin steel. This was made out of tin originally. These were made out of aluminum. So with tin, you have to worry about rust. Again, we're going stainless steel. It's going to be more versatile for high heat. So if you do need to, you know, boil your water for safety's sake or something like that, you can use this to boil your water. And you don't have to worry about the soldered seams or anything like that getting damaged and breaking apart. All right, so this is going to be a reproduction, not 100% authentic reproduction. So those of you who are in living history, like I said, I hope you're not cursing my name and, you know, condemning me in all different regards, but I need to make sure that modern taste and modern perspectives is also included in this, because most people are not going to be living history or reenactors. Most of us are going to be modern people that we like historical knowledge being reused again. So that's where we are at. Now, if you commit in the description box below following that link, people who early commit, right? There's 500 of these sets that are going to be produced. Hopefully there's going to be more, but this first run is just 500. I don't know if we'll be able to make any more than that. So those who early commit, you will get 2 different patterns. I'm going to draft 2 patterns for these cases. Now I have 2 original ones because I actually have 2 kits. One's partial, one's complete. But the original kit that I have was like this, and I am 100% confident that this was used by an officer during World War I, and this was probably used to attach to a saddle or possibly a belt. But nice thing is, even if you aren't going to be in the cavalry or something like that, you can use this to dangle your extra cup on, which is what I like to do when I use this kit outdoors. I like to just hang a nice little cup or a noggin or something like that so I can use it. Now, the rest of it is very similar to that one. It comes with a strap, like so. Now, this one is my secondary one that I got just earlier this year. It has a wool felt internal cover, like so. So the idea was that you could wet this down and it would keep your beverage nice and cold as it evaporates, right? Or if you, I guess, are drinking a lot of hot water or hot coffee or something like that on a hunting trip, you can put that in here and that would keep it nice and warm, at least for a certain period of time. But other than that, this is identical to this. It doesn't have the leather patch up front for that hook. This just has the regular sling as such. Now, neither one is branded. So I don't know if Abercrombie & Fitch sold these two. Probably not, because Abercrombie & Fitch was really good about branding their items that they're selling in their store. So these ones are two very early examples of the Preston Mess Kit covers. Now, if you haven't checked out my history of the Preston Mess Kit, again, it's in the description box below. So Lieutenant Guy Preston invented this nice kit for military service, but after the war, people really enjoyed it, and it was sold in camp crafting magazines and catalogs and talked about by people like Horace Kephart and many others. So it is super rare. They're not very common at all. And interestingly, upon my research of seeing other kits online, there hasn't been a single one that is absolutely identical to another. So it definitely was produced in small quantities with various deviations of design overall, mostly when it comes to the canteen. Now this is the full canteen. Cole Cracker Bushcraft over in Pennsylvania, he has a Preston Mess Kit, and his is a half canteen. We like to have water, so this is going to be the full canteen version, so you can have plenty of water to take it with you. So there you go. That is the Preston Mess Kit. It's going to cost $175. I'm asking people to respond to the survey, the actual interest. So if you're going to commit, then you can fill that out by Wednesday, the 16th, July 16th. And then by July 17th, I'm going to take a look at it and gauge the interest and see if we're going to move forward. So far, this seems very promising because I emailed everybody who is on my response list, and so far I'm getting very positive response that yes, they're willing to put the money into the project. Now, if you commit, I'm going to send out a follow-up email asking for payment by August 1st. August 1st. That way we can move forward. Now the steps that's going to be involved, this kit is going up to Columbus, Ohio, because I try to find somebody local, not overseas, to work on this particular kit. Especially, you know, the world's kind of chaotic right now anyways. So I'm taking this up to Columbus, Ohio to an engineering firm and metal manufacturing site, and they are going to scan this digitally, and they are going to reverse engineer from the original. So when you get your kit, the only difference that there should be, no seam in the canteen, and there's going to be a screw cap instead of just a straight spout. That's it. Everything else should be just like what I have in size and functionality and everything else. I've been looking forward to this for years. This has been a dream of mine for years. I hope it wasn't going to be a pipe dream. Thanks to you guys for responding to me on my various videos, especially about this kit and your various interests about it, that I decided to move forward with this. So I really appreciate your guys' support, and I look forward to hearing from you about it. Now, if you have any questions, any thoughts or anything like that, please put it in the comments below. I'll try to answer them as quickly as I can. I am going to summer camp next week with my scout troop, so it may be hit or miss, especially if there's spotty cell phone service, etc. And of course, I want to spend time with my troop and give them most of my attention, but there's always a little bit of downtime. So I'll try to respond to as much as possible. You can also go onto the Camp Crafters Guild, which if you are not familiar, Camp Crafters Guild is literally it's a public forum. I mean, it's not like an old school forum. There's so much more to it than an old style forum. It's kind of like Facebook, but there's actually a lot more tools on Facebook, especially for people who are wanting to collaborate and learn from each other, etc. So you can check out the Camp Crafters Guild at www.honorableoutfitters.com/join the guild. Again, that's www.honorableoutfitters.com/join the guild. Now that's my website. There's lots of different other historical articles on there, but you can join there. There's a free section of the Guild. And on the Guild, this month, we are actually having a cooking challenge, because that's what we do. Every month, we have a new challenge, and we award those who participate in the challenge with badges, and we celebrate each other and cheer each other on, give each other ideas, things like that. So if you are one of those type of people who like cook kits, and maybe you're just wanting an excuse to get your stove out, your cook kit out, start a fire or something like that, it is a great time. I look forward to seeing you on there. Anyhow, I hope you liked the video. I hope this inspires you and gets you as excited as I am, because I'm really feeling excited about this. And again, I appreciate all of you who have made my channel a reality, and I appreciate all of you for encouraging me, and hopefully we can make this awesome rare cook set a reality with your guys' help. So thank you. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Give a kiss to your loved ones, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.